right now. I'll try to get through this eulogy without crying, but I know that I'm not sorry even if I did. Losing someone in your life is incredibly hard, but dealing with death is a whole other heartache. Many of us here today witnessed and were touched by Kurt's loving and giving attitude. And I mean, you also saw it on the video. He was so playful and cheerful and just happy. He'll always say yes to you if you ask him for a favor, even if he doesn't really want to do it, especially if he knows how much that favor means to you. Who's gonna drive me now to and from the airport, Kurt? He's so incredibly selfless, but that's not all he was. He was our ball of joy. Out of nowhere, he'll just approach you, telling you how good looking he thinks he is. Or he'll tell you how he's been in constant pain because he was growing so much. Trust me, every single person that hangs out with him knows that. He'll occasionally tease my grandma and makes jokes about how ugly I am. And I mean, from this state, I'll have to argue with him. He was our future star basketball player. He's incredibly passionate about pursuing basketball. And if you knew him, or had at least seen him play, you'd know he wasn't too far from getting there. He was ambitious, but not just for himself, for my mom and for our family. He'd do anything to keep my mom from headaches, and he'd always assure her that someday my mom wouldn't have to work anymore. He's incredibly loving and mature. I remember when I first started seeing my first ex here in Canada, my mom wasn't too hot about the idea, but my brother talked to my mom, telling her how responsible I was and how mom should trust me. I didn't even ask him to do that, he just did. Because he wanted me to be happy, and for my mom to be okay with it. He is so respectful, and he doesn't see age, color, or life status. One of his friends' posts really struck to our family. I think it was Zoe. And we didn't even know that wasn't his real name. Kurt was the one who gave that to him, like he did to most of his friends. I have access to his Snapchat, and I don't know any single person because he would change their names. Anyway, Zoe mentioned how when they were in Calgary, he shared his breeze with a homeless person. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a form of e-cigarette. And you should know how picky he is with his food and the fact that he doesn't like sharing the same utensils because he doesn't like the bacteria to spread. But him offering that to an absolute stranger shows you how pure his heart is. There are so many memories I can share with you today. Like how we stuck together when we first moved, and that was when our relationship really started getting stronger. I could also tell you the stories of him just spilling absolutely everything about his life. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Even the stuff you don't really want to know about his life, he'd tell you, because that's how open he was, and how much he enjoyed sharing. Something that we don't have in common. I could tell you how he came to Germany during my competition, just so I wouldn't be alone in a foreign country, even if he wasn't already going through so much that time. I could tell you how joyful he is when he hears that my little cousins in the Philippines are playing basketball. I could also tell you about how much he loved them, and when my aunties ask for shoes or clothes to give to them, he wouldn't even hesitate to give it. And he'll argue with my mom because she wouldn't like it. I could go on with telling you about his TikTok filming. He even asked me to be in one of them because apparently he'll get more views that way. I'd walk out of my room and he'd be filming in our bonus room, sometimes by himself, sometimes with his friends. He would force me and my mom to watch those TikToks even though we don't find it as funny as he does. I could tell you how much he loved my grandparents because they were a huge part of both of us. And they were really the people who raised us when we were little. I could tell you how much he loved his girlfriend, Jamie. I remember asking him during Halloween if he was going out, and he said no, because Jamie wouldn't like it. And when they briefly broke up, he was so devastated and told me that he made a mistake. And he doesn't like hearing about bad news from the Philippines. That's how much he loves our family, especially when they're here arguing. If our family is going through something, he'd drop everything to be there. I could tell you how I love my mom, and their relationship is just something that you'd admire. My mom and I have a different relationship than she has with Kurt. He makes an effort every day to keep my mom happy and less stressed. He doesn't like her working too hard and promises that he'd take care of her one day. When they argue, Kurt hates it and immediately apologizes to my mom, regretting what he said and what he did. I truly admire their relationship. They have so much love for each other, and I know that's a huge reason why mom is so devastated. My mom did everything for the two of us, sacrificed everything for us. And Mom, I just want to tell you that Kurt and I are so lucky to have you, and never once in our lives you had any shortcomings. Please know that, because I know Kurt would want you to know. You were his rock, and I hope you know that. And Kurt's friends, I want every single one of you to know that my family gets strength from seeing you. Seeing you all be there for Kurt lifts the pain a little bit. We knew he had many friends, but we didn't know he was close with every single one of you, and that all of you have something to share about him. It was absolutely comforting to see you all together for Kurt. I wouldn't mention each of you because I don't know half of your names, to be honest, but know that if you tell us your name, we'd recognize you from his stories. And to Jamie, thank you for bringing light to my brother's life. My entire family is so grateful that Kurt had met you. I want you to know that you were always on his mind, even when he was down. You were so, so good to him, and I know he was good to you too. You're not part of our family. I hope you know that, and I'll always be here for you. Thank you so much for loving my brother the way you did. And this is where I close this long eulogy. I could go on for hours talking about my brother, but it's also kind of comforting to have some memories kept between us. On behalf of my family, thank you all for all the love for my brother. We know he now belongs to the hands of that who created him, and he is now up there watching over us. It's not going to be easy, but if there's one thing the situation has taught us, I want you to reach out to your support system. You may not know it, but there are so many people around you who loves you. And Kurt would want us to keep going every day. Thank you all for being here.